a year ago, they say that this country never been this worse as it is now. I'm like, they don't read much. We're not a reading society anyway today. We let other folks' opinions influence us, don't we? Instead of reading, we listen to all types of media today to influence our life. And we have a tendency, one of the symptoms of shame has a tendency. We always have to prove ourselves. I did say 2 Samuel chapter number 9, and that's where I'm going to begin. I'm not going to set it up for you so you know why we're in this book here. Up until this point, Saul had been killed. Jonathan died in battle. And the promise that Jonathan and David made was a promise that was between brothers. They would say they made an oath to one another. And David said, I will make sure I take care of your family. Now granted, this is the thing about it. David fought. David. Saul had been chasing David to kill him for more than 8 years. And because of that, you think about somebody trying to kill you, and their son, you gonna make an oath with the son? Somebody, think about it. Somebody trying to kill you, would you make an oath with the person's son? Would you? Well, David did. Man tried to kill him for more than 8 years. He went without clothing at times. He had to hide in caves. Now, a lot of times it says he didn't have food to eat. And you can make an oath. With this man's son. David did. David said, I'm going to show kindness to your family. And that's where we're going to begin here. David showing kindness to Saul's family, which talks about Jonathan's son here. Verse number 1, 9th chapter. David asks, is there anyone remaining from Saul's family that I can show my kindness to because of Jonathan? And there was a servant of Saul's family named Ziba. They summoned him to David. The king says to him, are you Ziba? I am your servant, he replied. So the king asked, is there anyone left in Saul's family I can show my kindness or show the kindness of the Lord to? Ziba answered the king, there is still Jonathan's son, who is lame in both feet. And the king asked him, where is he? Ziba answered the king, you'll find him in Lodabar at the house of Maiah, the son of Amnon. So King David had him brought from the house of Maiah, the son of Amnon, in Lodabar. There are some things in this I want to bring to your attention. First of all, David showing that he keeps his word. One of the things that you got to remember, if you ever want to get out of shame, first of all, somebody have to show kindness. You ever want to be delivered from shame, someone must show kindness. You got to be kind sometime. You ever want to be delivered? Someone or you ever want to deliver someone else, you must show some kindness. Amen. David showed kindness, even though the fact that David had many reasons of why he shouldn't show kindness. One of them was because of his father, Jonathan's father, trying to kill him. He had a reason. Most of us today don't have that reason. Have you been chased for 8 years? You've been on the run for your life for 8 years or more. Somebody trying to kill you. Also, it says that his son was lame in the feet. Now, he was 5 years old when he was lame. You find that in the 4th chapter of the book of Samuel. If you want to know why, it's because they had heard the news of Abner was killed. And in haste, they was leaving, and at that time, the boy, Jonathan's son, he had a nurse, and the nurse was holding him. They was running, and all of a sudden, she dropped Jonathan's son. She dropped him, and he became lame. So that shows me something. Most of our shame does not come from us per se. It's because of something that was done to us. Most of the time it's something that had an adverse effect in our lives, and we held on to it, not recognizing that it can affect us in a negative way. We did that. We there. But we can be delivered today from it. Some of the things that were said to us has a greater impact on our lives than anything else. Some of the bad things that were said. And that's the truth. Because it did for me. Seemed like the more I ran from it, the more I came towards it. The more I tried to defend it from happening, the more it began to happen. Seemed like I couldn't get away from it. So I started to accept the things that I was hearing about me. You know, you got to do either one. You continue to run or you continue to accept. I've stopped running. I started accepting what folks were saying about me.